a veteran teacher with 27 years of classroom experience, and I hate wasting time, money, and energy, so I've developed an easy-to-use system for my lesson materials. I'll show you the best way to organize, store, and level instructional materials, and how to create organizational systems that you can use your entire teaching career. It's Best Tips and Tricks for Teachers on Learn With Me, Mrs. Sullivan. As an elementary teacher, organizing your language arts materials is a daunting yet critically important task. I strongly suggest using color codes. You'll want to use the most common colors for office products, and you can easily use a highlighter to modify anything by drawing on a colored stripe. Color coding makes it easy to identify lesson materials by category, especially if you use the techniques and pro tips I'll be sharing with you today. Primary grades means lots of index cards and sentence strips for sorting and matching games. And file folders are versatile. You can staple the edges closed to create a pocket, or place items in a large envelope and then file. You'll find you have a lot of lesson materials that you can store easily in a file folder. Don't worry. Just because we're using file folders doesn't mean you need file cabinets for this system. These are the categories I've been using for color coding the last 20 years. The color lets me know what type of lesson material it is. And the actual lesson is what I write on the folder. Then very small, the unit and week code that matches the current language arts adoption. It's easy to create more categories by drawing colored stripes. The important thing is that my common categories are easy to spot at a glance. And I can use this color coding for all my materials and my computer files. Knowing exactly where to find things by color is less stressful than reading all the titles, and it saves time. And it won't take long until you know these color codes by heart. And yes, I use both paper and digital resources when teaching. I keep master copies of some things in file folders. Having experienced 2 weeks without working internet means I will never again consider relying solely on digital copies for everything. Pro tip: place less focus on items that relate only to a particular story or article from the current adoption. Organizing items this way makes it easy to adapt each time you get a new language arts adoption. All you have to do is change the unit and week code. To make the system super efficient, you'll want to have an overview of each week and unit, like this excellent one from theteachersguide.com, or you could make your own. I like to store these in sheet protectors, and I just use brads to turn them into a little booklet. And I have one for school and one for home. And they really help me to see all the things at a glance instead of rifling through those very heavy teacher's editions. And they help me plan, prepare, and organize in a really efficient manner. I can add notes onto these, like books that I might also like to read as part of the unit, games I've created, Kahoots, AR quiz numbers. And every time I find or create a new material, having this guide helps me to know exactly where I will be filing it. I always write the unit and week code on items that will be handled by students or used in small groups, because invariably things will turn up weeks later. Pro tip: write how the contents are going to be used on the file folder. I have these itemed by items organized by level of difficulty, and I will talk more about that leveling code later in this video. I keep my files in banker's boxes. They're easy to move and they're easy to stack and store in your cabinets. I do the same system for my math materials. To prepare to teach, I can further group my files according to my personal preferences. I can organize them by day of the week that I'm going to be teaching them, or I could do by topic for the entire week. And I can get them ready and prepared by just laying them out on a table or desk, or I could get more fancy. There's lots of different things to fit your individual teaching method. Day of the week or time of day are two other good ways to organize your materials. Personally, I like to have a day of the week system at my desk, and I place my time of day files at my teaching zones. I have one for things I teach at the rug and one for things I teach at the front of the classroom. If you're finding this helpful, you know what to do. Pro tip, bonus level secret code. I use shape codes to secretly level my materials in the classroom. Instead of labeling items level 1, level 2, and so on, I like to use the secret code so students and parent volunteers don't know exactly who is working at what level. I use an image of preparing to roll along. So my triangle is my beginning level, it does not roll easily. My circle is my advanced level, it rolls easily. I found that 4 or 5 levels are sufficient, and the shape code lets me discreetly level and modify my materials. Here is a leveling pro tip bonus round. One of the things you might level for small group instruction is bingo games. You can modify the levels by changing the clue cards. Presto, easy to advanced versions using the same exact bingo game. You can learn how to make bingo cards quickly and easily in this video that will be linked down below. It's one of the best tips and tricks videos that I've made on my channel. You'll also want to check out lesson videos. These are designed to be used for in-class lesson instruction. Thanks for watching Learn with me, Mrs. Sullivan. Best tips and tricks. Organizing lesson materials. Save time and energy. Learn with me, Mrs. Sullivan. Please like and subscribe.